Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hi Emma, hi Sue. Hello, hello, hello. Hi Lee and Suzanne. Hi Marie. Hi Kaylee. Hello. How are you? Hi Amy and Debbie. Hi Sharon. Hello Amy. Hello, hello, hello. How are you? Oh, Linda, bless you. Thank you for the stars there. Hi, Steph. It's a bit echoey. Oh, bear with me. Zanita, bless you. Thank you for the stars as well. And Angela, thank you guys. Bear with me a second. I'm just going to fix the sound. How about now? Is that stopped echoing? Hello. Has that spooky? Has that stopped echoing? That should have fixed it. Let me know. Oh, I mean, it could have been part of the Halloween theme. We could have that going. That's quite a good idea, actually. Sounds good. Okay, so it's okay now. Okay, that's fine then. Perfect. Better. So it's Friday night. And yeah, back to normal. Perfect. So today we have everything going. So we've got our Tantalizing Treats, which are basically you get to pick your pumpkin face. We've got Casper, Toothy, Dracula, Gnasher, and Evil Knievel. Oh, bless you, Suzanne and Sue. Thank you very much for the stars, guys. So you pick your pumpkin face, and inside this, so there's Casper, Toothy, Dracula, Gnasher, and Evil Knievel, and you've got 1, 2, and 3. So you'll pick your face and pick which number bag you would like. And then inside the bag are oysters. Now, there will be 3 or more oysters. The oysters inside are Mystery, Halloween, Expand the Rainbow, Nunu, Normal, and 4 Pearl. So 6 different types of oysters, all in those bags. So it's, yeah, it's really quite cool. We've also got the trick or treats. So in here is a trick or treat card, and on the back you either get a trick or that one's a treat or a treat. Now the treats are different, so with every order you'll get a trick or treat card. We've got Halloween oysters available, which are oysters with Halloween colours inside. All other oysters are available. Sparkle dips are still available. I think that's everything. Hello. Louise, possibly if it's within 48 hours, you may not get we normally try and get out back to everybody within 48 hours, not including weekends. So I've just posted an order list on the page. So if you have ordered, hopefully you can see whereabouts you are on that order list. And if you would like to order, we do still have, let me double check. Yeah, we do still have spaces available if you would like to order. I'm just thinking, are the Tantalizing Treats on the website? Yeah, they're still on the website. I didn't know if I put them on just for the last live or not. Okay, perfect. So shall we get started for the evening and then we'll go from there? Okay, so what's going on? Oh, subtitles. I don't know if I can turn them off. There you go. Does that work? I think they're off now. It's an automatic thing. I mean, I do if you guys are happy to have them, I do understand it is more of an accessibility thing. If we have the subtitles on, it doesn't mean that more people can watch and can see what's going on. But I do also understand that the subtitles are in a place on the screen where the pearls and the oyster openings are, so it's quite a hard one to do. So they automatically go on. So normally I do turn them off, so I must have forgot today, so I do apologise for that. So should we get started for the day, and then yeah, go from there. So up first is Jessica McEwen. Jessica, are you here? Jessica McEwen, are you here? Oh, couldn't you set lamp there? So I'm looking for Jessica McEwen. Jessica, if you're here, please type I'm invisible. It will bring your comment forward so I can see you. And if anybody else sees Jessica, please comment on that comment, because again, it will bring it forward so I can see. Oh, okay, so it must have come up, I don't know. Well, I suppose if you watched it back, they would possibly be there. I don't know actually if it would remove them fully from the live if I don't know. I need to look into how it works more. Oh wow, Sandra, thank you for the stars, my lovely. That's very, very kind of you. Now, last call for Jessica. If not, we'll move on. Then of course, if she does come on, we can add her back in again, but it will be to the end of the order list. So Jessica McEwen, are you here? Sophie, hello, my lovely. You got a dispatched email. Whoop, whoop. Okay, so I haven't seen her, so we're going to move on. If she, like I say, if she comes on, we can add her in, but it will be to the end of the order list. Up next is Zoe Mealy. Zoe, are you here? Thank you, Natalie. Zoe, hello, 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 hello. So Zoe, you are first today with the Tantalizing Treats. Let me just pull up the faces. So I'll need to know which face, which pumpkin face you would like, and if you would like number 1, 2 or 3. So number 1 is at the top, 2 is in the middle, 3 is on the bottom. So would you like Casper, Toothy, Dracula, Gnasher or Evil Knievel? Yes, I have to move the witch. The witch can't stay, she has to move after each live, just obviously because we need this desk space to work. So she'll get reset up each live. So I'm guessing she's going to be in a different position each time. It's kind of creepy. Toothy number 3. So Toothy is this one here. Number 3's at the bottom. Would you like to keep or would you like to donate your shells? Oh. I've pulled the pin off the board, so I'll have to to grab that back in a second, because obviously so everyone else can have toothy number 3 as well. So this is toothy number 3. We have 1, 2 and 3 oysters. There's no more in there, so let me get these open for you. As in jewellery, Cassie, yeah, we don't just do cage pendants. However, if you would prefer an item where you can swap the pearls around, it would be cage pendants, or the cage bracelet that we have now as well. But if you're happy for the pearl to be a set pendant, then yes, we have earrings, other necklaces, rings, bracelets, anklets. Yes, we do have a large range on the website. So let's go down. So toothy number 3. Oh wow, hello Stacey. So there's one side. And the other side. Oh, she made me jump. And in your first oyster, you are twinning. And you're twinning with quite nice larger apple green twins there. And there's no more in that one. Oh, Jody, I hope he's okay. Oh, bless him. Okay, so twinning apple green twins. Now visually it does look like you've got one slightly larger than the other. So the larger one is on this side here. I'm actually just going to pop these greens on the board just because I think it's going to be easier if we just do it this way round. There you go. You can see the colour perfectly there. I think I'm going to have to get the different sand for the next live. Moving on to oyster number 2, Zoe. There's one side and the other side. And in here I can see as well you are twinning for a second time, 1 and 2. Laura, bless you. Thank you for the stars there. And there's no more in that one. You're twinning with coral twins. And there they are as well. So apple green twins and coral twins. And then moving on to your last oyster, which again is toothy number 3. There's one side and the other side, and in here you are twinning for a third time. That's 3 sets of twins there, Zoe. Now if I need to turn this witch off, do let me know, guys. So you are twinning with I'm gonna say they're like a darker, they're in between a blush pink and a candy pink. They're like a darker blush pink, but they are quite a nice deeper colour there. Lisa, bless you, thank you for the stars as well. Sonia, hello, thank you for joining us. So Zoe, altogether 3 sets of twins there. Let me hold them up. Oh, I don't know why it's so bright down here. Oh, okay, so it's the shadow. So you've got apple green twins, coral twins and pink twins. Zoe, I hope you're happy with all of these. So if I pop them on the board for you, the visually larger green is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5, not an 8, he's an 8.5. Green number 2 is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5, he's an 8. So they are measuring different sizes there. Coral number 1 is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, he's a 7. Coral number 2 is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5. He's a 7. They're the same size. And then pink twin number 1 is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5. He's a 7. And pink twin number 2 is not a 5, ooh, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5. He's a 7 as well. I'm glad that you're happy with those, my lovely. Let me pop them in here for you. Oh, bless you, Anne. And Zoe, bless you. Thank you very, very much for the donations with your shells. And I do hope you'll be happy with everything once it arrives. Now, you do have a trick or treat card. So, just going to give them a mix. Yeah, we do cages. Can you have them all on lobster fittings? Of course you can, Zoe. So your trick or treat card, you have a treat. Now I know that is backwards there, so I do apologise, but you have a treat which is 20% off. So if you would like to order again in the future, you'll have a 20% off code. So that code will get sent through tomorrow for you, and it will go to the email address that's on your order form. You can be able to use that straight away, or it doesn't have an expiry, so you can hold on to it if you would like to. I hope you're happy with that as well. Also, your invoice for the lobster fittings, that'll get sent through tomorrow as well, and again it will go to the email address that's on the order form. Oh gosh, Samantha. But Zoe, I hope you're happy with that, and I hope you're happy with everything once it arrives. That's safe up there for you. Can I get a cage ring? I've seen them before, and I personally won't stock them, no. For the size pearls that we have, a cage ring would be like extremely big, and because of the nature of the cages, it would have to have a catch on it, and obviously with a ring in our hands, the catch obviously could get caught, and then you're going to lose a pearl. So with our normal cages, the chain threads through, which stops the cage from opening up. With a ring, that would be different. So for me personally, no, we won't be doing any sort of cage rings. We do have cage bracelets and cage pendants, but then, like I said, we do have a large range of other items on the website as well. Yes, Cassie, so we offer a smaller glass bottle which can fit around 20-ish pearls in. We also do a pearl pot, which is a plastic pot which you can open up, and I think that can fit around 50 pearls in. It's a small pot, about that size, sort of square pot, but they're all on the website, so you can have a look there. I believe that if you go into Oysters, they'll be in Oysters. Okay, so up next this evening is Carol Grant. Carol, are you here? Thank you, Natalie. Oh, Sophie, you're a star. Thank you. Yeah, I'm very, all my products I wouldn't have unless I was happy to wear them myself. So I suppose I'm then very biased in what I do stock and what I do sell. But I've just designed 3 new pendants and so the designs have finally come through, and they're finally now being made up and on the way to me, and I'm so excited. And I'm going to say they're Christmas designs, and I am so excited. They finalised, what day? On Wednesday, so it's Friday. Yeah, they finalised on Wednesday. So I'm so excited for those to come through. Makes me so happy. Oh, Carol, hello. Sorry, Carol, I got hooked up in my in talking, I always do. So you have a tantalizing treat as well. You would like toothy number 2, so that's the centre one here. and you'd like to donate your shells. Okay, so Toothy number 2. Zoe, bless you. Thank you for the stars, my lovely. So in here, Carol, you have 1, 2, 3, and there's no more in that one. Okay, so let me get these open for you. Are there certain colours that you're hoping for? Oh, that is spooky, Samantha. Oh no. Oh, Mandy, I'm glad you're happy with it. Okay, so Carol, let's go down. So we're going to start with this oyster here. So this would be either a mystery or a Halloween oyster. You have a light pop there. And in here, there is your mother of pearl. So we're going to wait and see to see what colours come out. Now I can see a peeper there, Carol. Oh, and you're twinning. You're twinning with light lilac lavender twins there. There's no more in that one. So I'm just going to dry these up for you. And again, I'm just going to be showing the pearls on the board to start with and then in the sand afterwards today. Because I just think you'll see that colour a lot clearer. Yes, Samantha, we have a Halloween oyster bag, which are oysters with Halloween pearl colours on the inside. Moving on to oyster number 2, Carol, from your Tantalizing Treats. There's one side and the other side. Joanne, bless you. Thank you for the stars. And in here you have a huge dark grape purple. So sticking with your purple theme there. So again, if I just dry him up for you. And he's a beautiful size, this one. So there's your dark grape purple. Twinning is winning. Oh, I love that. Can I use that phrase? And then moving on to your last oyster, my lovely. Yes, Sophie, they should be here next week. There's one side and the other side. Ooh, and in here you have a sea green and there's no more in that one. These colours are very Halloween-esque as well, Carol, actually. So let me just pop your sea green on here so you can have a look at them. Yay! But yeah, they have been ordered, so yeah, they should be here next week. So Carol, what do you think to all of these? I hope you're happy with them. Twinning lilac purples, a larger dark grape purple, and a sea green. If I pop them on the board for you, your sea green is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, he's a 6.5. Lilac twin number 1 is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, he's a 7. Lilac twin number 2 is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, he's a 7. And the larger grape purple is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5, not an 8. Oh, he's an 8.5. I didn't think he was going to go through them. Can you be invoiced for hoop fittings? Of course you can. Is that hoop fittings on all of them? Just confirm if that's what you mean. Just so I don't obviously get that wrong. But I'm glad you're happy with the colours there. I'm just going to pop them in here for you. Madam Mim's being quiet now. I don't know what sets her off. I thought it was movement, but yeah, she's not moving now. What do you think? Let me just write this down. On a hoop fitting, just confirm for me. Do you mean all 4 or just certain colour? Perfect. I just wanted to confirm that. You're very, very welcome. So you also have a trick or treat. So if we dive in here, so your trick or treat this way round, and Carol, you have a trick, my lovely. That does mean that you don't have anything on the back of that one, but I do hope you'll be happy with everything once it arrives. Thank you as well for the donations of your shells, and that's safe up there for you. Sophie, I literally, a shiver just ran down my spine when I read that. Oh, camera moved. No, she didn't go. No, just being quiet. It's so sad that I'm freaked out by her. Oh. Okay, so up next and this evening is Cassie Seaward. Cassie, are you here? Wow, Marie, bless you. Thank you for the stars there. That's very, very kind of you. Are they full up, Mandy? If so, write your name and date across the front of them. Take a photo, send them across to us in an email, and then I'll get you booked in for them. You don't need to have an order with us to have them. We'll just book you in. However, if you do have an order coming up, let me know, and I'll just add them onto that order so you can do them all together. Hope that makes sense. So I'm looking for Cassie Seaward. Cassie, are you here? She did, and she got a trick. It is Jackie. I don't think you can see on this camera. There it is. No, don't, Sophie. It does, honestly, it creeps me out. Cassie, if you're here, please type I'm invisible for me, or bring your comment forward so I can see you. Also, if anybody can see Cassie, please comment on that comment, because again, it will bring it forward so I can see. Oh, possibly Emma. When Aaron comes in next, I'll see if he wants to. Change it. Because she does move. Oh. Yes, honestly, it's making me feel good. She might not be here on the next live. Such a wimp. Right, I haven't seen Cassie. We're going to be moving on. If she does come on, we can add to her in, but it will be on the end of the order list there. Up next then is Bronnie Van Leer. Bronnie, are you here? Oh, yeah, you might be right. I can't, I'm not going to be able to look for a light on it for the little movement thing. You could be right, but yeah, I'm not going to be able to find that now. Bronnie, hello, 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 hello. Bronnie, you have a tantalizing treat today. So let me bring up the faces for you. So you get to pick which face you would like, and then 1, 2, or 3. So would you like Casper, Toothy, Dracula, Gnasher, or Evil Knievel? Don't move her, Bab. Basically, there's a switch on the back. Sorry, Aaron's come in, so he's just going to see if he can...
No, should be on.
Oh, is the little sensor somewhere? How did you do that?
Just turn it off and back on again.
Oh. Toothy number 3. Could you do one more thing for me? The pin down. I'm just going to grab the pin down here. Yeah, can you push it into here for me right there while I grab some toothies? Sorry, Bronnie. What I normally do is I normally top these up as I go, but I've got distracted. You have to sort of do it. Is it in? Wow. Thank you, Bab. Sorry, I should just stab you.
Right.
Thank you, Bab. Okay, so toothy number 3 would be this one because I was just topping them up. 1, 2, and 3. Oh, okay. So just confirm for me, are you happy with that one? Because like I said, I do normally top the board up as we go. Got distracted with the witch. So just confirm, are you still happy with this one? Yeah, okay, perfect. So in here you have 1, 2, and 3, and there's no more in that one. So let me get these open for you. Bronnie, would you like to keep or would you like to donate your shells? And are there certain colours that you're hoping for? I'm extra creeped out because obviously we have the spider webbing, but also it means that I don't know if I've actually got spiders in here because they could easily hide. It's all just, I love Halloween, but it's freaky. So let's go down. Oyster number 1, Bronnie. There's one side. And the other side. And from your first oyster, you have a darker pearl. Donating the shells, and you're hoping for no pinks, watermelons, browns, or corals. Okay, fingers crossed we don't have those colours. However, I do believe with your first colour here, you do have a really dark, deeper. Now, it is a chocolate silver, but he is a base chocolate there. I hope you're happy with that one. Moving on to oyster number 2. There's one side and the other side. And in here, you have a lighter lilac purple, and there's no more in that one. So here is your lighter lilac purple. And then moving on to your last oyster, which is again from toothy number 3. There's one side and the other side. Oh, and in here, Bronny, you are quadding. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And there's no more in that one. Okay, so again, I'm just going to dry these up for you. We'll pop them on the board so you can have a closer look. So quadding with the last oyster from your tantalizing treat. So we have a pinkle, a apple, oh, a runaway, an apple green, an icy blue, oh, and a darker Pepsi blue as well. So if I hold these up so you can see, pinkle, apple green, icy blue, and darker Pepsi blue. So if I pop them in the sand with all of your colours there. So you have a chocolate, a light lilac purple, pinkle, apple green, icy blue, and darker Pepsi blue. If I pop them on the board for you, your chocolate is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, he's a 7. Your lilac is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5, he's an 8. The pinkle is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, he's a 7.5. The apple is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, he's a 7. Icy blue is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, he's a 7.5. And the darker Pepsi blue is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, he's a 7.5 as well. Bronny, I hope you're happy with all of those. If I bring you back up here. Which colour are you swapping with, Carol? Obviously with the Tantalizing Treats, we don't allow swaps with us because that's just with the Tantalizing Treats, that's the deal. Obviously with normal orders we do allow colour swaps. However, if you are swapping with Carol, that's out of my control. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to everybody joining. Okay, so just confirm for me, Carol, that you're happy to swap your chocolate for the sea green. No, Carol, your sea green for the chocolate. Now I have just done that, but I'm just gonna, the sea green is in there and the chocolate's on Carol's, but I'm just gonna get Carol to confirm before I move on, Bronny, okay? So I'll do your trick or treats for you. So if we dive in here, and you have your trick or treats card, you have a treat. You've got 10% off your next order. So if you would like to order again, you're going to be sent a 10% off code from us. So that will get sent through tomorrow for you, and it will go to the email address that's on the order form. And again, you can use it straight away, but it doesn't have an expiry date, so you can hold on to it if you wanted to. Carol, you're happy for us to do that? Oh, bless you, Carol. You're very, very kind. So that swap has been done for you, ladies. And Bronny, can you have them all on jump rings? You can indeed. Okay, so that invoice will also get sent through for you tomorrow to the email address that's on the order form, okay? Bronny, I hope you're happy with everything then. That's safe up there for you. And of course, I hope you're happy with everything once it arrives. Carol, you're very welcome as well. How am I feeling after my operation? The operation site is still a little bit sore. If I've had a very movement day, that was really bad English then. If I've moved a lot that day, I can still feel it. So it's still healing. But it'll be a month tomorrow. So yeah, it's only been a month, and it was quite a deep operation. They had to cut out something basically. So yeah, they've removed a good old chunk of stuff. So yeah, I'm guessing it's just healing. But yeah, it's not painful, it's just almost achy. Oh no, Charlotte, I hope you both feel better soon. And Bronnie, you're very, very welcome. Right, up next this evening is Gail Ladd. Gail, are you here? Now I am going to be topping up these bags as we go, so I am going to top up Mr. Toothy number 3. There we go. Sorry, I pushed the pin in a little bit more there. Thank you, Natalie. Yeah, it's definitely getting there. I think it's just, yeah, it's only been a month, so yeah, I think that's normal. Hello from a rainy Kingsbarns. Oh, hello, Gail, my lovely. You have a tantalizing treat as well today. So let's bring up the faces. Which face would you like and what number would you like? Gail, Evel Knievel number 3. So if I bring you back, Evel Knievel's this one right on the end here. Let me move out the way. So Evel Knievel, this one, number 3. I can't bring the board in any closer, so I do apologise. So Evel Knievel. And in here you have 1, you have 2, you have 3 oysters in there. Would you like to keep or would you like to donate your shells, Gail? And are there certain colours that you're hoping for? I'm just getting these open for you. Thank you, Louise. 1, 2 and 3. And let's go down. Donate the shells. Perfect. Thank you. Okay, so Gail, oyster number 1. There's one side and the other side. And in your first oyster, oh, you have a beautiful darker blue there. There's no more in that one. So let me dry him up for you. So here is your darker, I'm going to say this is a TARDIS blue. Moving on to oyster number 2. There's one side and the other side. And in here you have a blurple. Now a blurple is a mix between a blue and a purple. There's no more in that one. So that's in between a blue and a purple there. And then moving on to your last oyster from Evel Knievel number 3. There's one side and the other side. And in here you have a darker pearl. And there's no more in that one. Now he looks like he's a darker chocolate pearl there. Let me dry him up for you. He is a darker chocolate. So let me hold him up so you can see. So you've got a TARDIS blue, a blurple, and a chocolate pearl there, Gail. I hope you're happy with those. If I pop them on the board for you, your TARDIS blue is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5, he's an 8. Your blurple is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5, he's an 8. And your chocolate is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5, he's an 8 as well. Gail, I hope you're happy with those. I'll bring you back up here. Don't have any of those colours. Perfect. Which is why I love the Tantalizing Treats idea, because if you don't have any pearls and you'd like to start off your collection, or if you'd just like to expand your collection of pearls, whether it's to have them loose to go into cage pendants or to just have them so you can, I like to organise things so you have more colours to display. The Tantalizing Treats is sort of there so you can do that. It's there to start off or to expand your collection. So I'm glad you're happy you don't have those colours. Can you have them on a hoop fitting? Of course you can. Let me write that down for you. That invoice will get sent through tomorrow for you and it will go to the email address that's on your order form, okay? You also have a trick or treat, so let me just give them a little mix. And in here, your trick or treat card, you have a treat. You have 15% off, which means you'll have a 15% off code sent to your email address tomorrow. So if you would like to order again in the future, you have that to use. It can be used straight away or you can hold on to it because it doesn't have an expiry date on it. Gail, I hope you're happy with everything. Thank you very, very much for the donations with your shells as well. And that's safe up there for you. So Chloe, what I do is we pop a order list on the page. Gail, bless you, thank you. So if you ordered before the live, the order list goes on the page before the live. If you've ordered during the live, when I get to the end of the current order list, which actually we've got one person left next, and then I'll be doing an updated order list. So then I'll read out verbally on the live the order list so you can hear whereabouts you are. And I'll also post it on the page as well if it's more than like 3 names. That way you can visually see where you are as well. So you do get told whereabouts in the list and you can sort of hear who you're looking for and who you're after. I hope that makes sense. Okay, up next this evening is Cassandra Abbott. Cassandra, are you here? Not a problem, Chloe. Oh, Katie, bless you. You've been through the wars. I hope you're all feeling better. And Cassie, hello, hello, hello. Cassie, you have a sparkle dip with a oyster opening. Let me grab the sparkle dip bag for you. So what's going to happen is we're going to just give these a mix to start with. And then I'm going to dive in and pull a big pinch out. Now I'm not going to be looking, and we're just going to wiggle my fingers to make it so we've only got one in our hand. Now this pendant here, you can choose to stick if you're happy with this one, or if you would like to risk it, you can twist it, Cassie. So let me just pop this on the chain for you, and then you can have a closer look. So let's go down. Now this is a amethyst crystal heart pendant. It's got a heart bail on it as well, and then the amethyst is like a darker purple, so depending on where the light hits it, whether you can see that lighter or that darker purple there. Like I say, if you're happy with this one, you can stick, or if you prefer to risk it, you can twist it. Now if you'd like a pearl on this one, because you do have your oyster opening, it would sit at the top here and be able to move around the top of the pendant. What do you think to this one, my lovely? Keep that one. Perfect. Now I'll keep that on the board. That way you can see the pearl next to the pendant, because we've got your oyster opening, but you can also decide whether you have the pearl on or off of the jewellery. You don't have to have it on there if you don't want to. But what type of oyster would you like? And would you like to keep, or would you like to donate your shells? Halloween and keep the shells, not a problem. Is there a certain colour you're hoping for, and are you thinking pearls on or pearls off of the jewellery? Oh, so your Halloween oyster. Stay there. Let me get him open for you. And let's go down. So in here, you have a lighter pop there. You're hoping for a dark purple to match the pendant. Okay, now I'll clean that shell up for you in just a moment. And in here I can see a little bit of a peeper there. Let me have a squidge. Now it is a darker pearl. Oh, he's run backwards here, if you can see that. Just going to have a squidge though, just to see if there's any more in here. Okay, so there's no more in that one. Now, if we have a close look at this colour, I do believe he's a darker chocolate. Now, with your sparkle dip, if you're not happy with the colour, we can swap him for you. So that's going to be completely up to you. Now, he is a chocolate with a darker silver overtone. So chocolate base with that silver overtone there. If I run him through the board for you, he's not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5, he's an 8. Even though that was on that one, I'd feel weird starting at the 6. He's not, yeah, I'd feel weird. I have to go to go back there. So let me show you this one next to your pendant, Cassie. And like I say, if you prefer to swap the colour, we can do that for you. It's going to be completely up to you. So here he is next to that heart. What do you think? If you'd like to see a purple, I can grab one, or of course if you are happy with that, that's brilliant. So it's completely up to you, my lovely. Just going to wrap your shells up here. Can you change it to a dark purple or red, whichever you think matches? Ooh, I'm gonna say I'd possibly say one like yeah, one like this one here. Now, if you prefer to see a dark red, we can do so. This purple, you can see there, I'm just going to try and make it so you can see it. What do you think to that one? Just going to take that chocolate away there. And I'm going to bring you back up, but like I say, if you prefer to see a red, absolutely love it, perfect, you're happy with that one. Let me pop these back in here for you, and that one's going on the jewellery, isn't it? Cassie, I hope you're happy with that. We're going to do a trick or treat as well for you. So I'm going to dive in and give them a little mix. And in here, your trick or treat card. Cassie, you have a treat. So you have 15% off code, which means if you would like to order again in the future, you're going to get sent a 15% off code to the email address that's on your order form, and that will get sent across tomorrow for you. And you can spend it straight away, but you can hold on to it because it doesn't have an expiry date. I hope you're happy with that and happy with everything, my lovely. I've wrapped up your shells as well, and that's all safe up there for you. You're ordering again. Oh, bless you. Well, I hope you're happy with that one. And if you are ordering again, I'll see you soon. Right, so let me do an updated order list. So if you just, I can't speak today. If you just bear with me a second, I'm just going to print these orders off and then we'll do that updated order list, okay? So bear with me just a moment. While I'm doing this, we can talk about, so we're live tomorrow. So once a month we are live on a Saturday, and that is for the charm dip. So there's no oyster openings tomorrow. It is a ready-made charms with pearls ready on there. Now you get to pick what fitting you would like. And it's a sort of, you dive in and you can stick or twist once with them. Now the charms that are in there are normally all of our sort of range of charms, Swarovski crystal heart charms, but also the crystal charms like the sparkle dip. We've got the sparkle dip charms, if you like, so all the sort of crystal charms that haven't been on the website yet, they're also going in the charm dip bag for tomorrow. So yeah, we'll be live from around 1 PM tomorrow afternoon. Charm dip, whoop whoop. So what you need to do, Cassie, is when you get to the checkout, you can click that it's an add-on order, and then just type in the order number that we've just done. Just type in that order number, so you're adding it to that one, and then I'll pop them both together. So it's just a box you tick to say that it's an add-on order. It will take the postage off for you. So if we do this updated order list, I'm going to type it as I read it, just so then I can update it on the page as well. So up next is going to be Anne Griffiths, and then Lee Holbert, Emma Favel, and then Linda Heath and Cara Sean. Okay, so if I go through that again, we have got Angie, Lee H, Emma F, Linda H and Cara S. Now like I said, I'm just going to quickly post that on the page as well. So I'll leave a little space where the current order list is, and then I'll pop these names on. So Anne Griffiths, if you're here, bear with me just a second. Let me update this, and then I think I need to top up the board as well. So it's just loading. Okay, there we go. Sometimes I don't understand it. Sometimes everything loads so quickly and sometimes it's just so slow. There we go, it's updated now. So if you'd like to see the written version, I'll post it in the comments as well, but it is on the page where the current order list is. So I'm looking for Anne Griffiths. Anne, you're there. Hello. Dracula #1. Donate your shells and hoping for pinks and purples. So Dracula is the centre faces here. So Dracula #1 is this one. There's Dracula with his little fangs there. So in here, #1. #2. Oh, the first one I pulled out is actually 2. Ding. I thought it was 1 because it was so neatly behind there. So you've got 1, 2 and 3 and no more in that one. The sparkle dips tomorrow, no, yeah, well I suppose so. The charm dip tomorrow is under the fun section and it's called the charm dip. I think it's got surprise as the image. The wording surprise. Okay, so donation the shells, Anne, and you're hoping for pinks and purples. So let's go down. Oyster #1. There's one side. Oh! And the other side. Okay, so in here, that made me jump. Oh, in here you have a silvery olive green. Let me dry him up for you and hold him up so you can see. Not a problem, Cassie. I'll do an updated order list when I get to the end of this one, okay? So this one is a base olive green, but he's got this almost silvery tone to him. You can see that there. He's lovely. Oh, I'm very biased to greens. Moving on to oyster #2. There's one side and the other side. Oh, and it's going to run out this way. There it goes. So let me just pop that there. So darker pearl there. And there's no more in that one. And let me just dry him up and have a close look at this colour. Now he's got a dark forest green to him. Very dark, this one, but I'm hoping you can see that dark green in him. So olive green and forest green there. And then Anne, moving on to your last oyster. There's one side. Oh, careful. And the other side. And in here, another darker pearl there. And there's no more in that one. Oh, I've just remembered something else I need to tell you guys. So your darker pearl here, if we have a closer look at his colour. Now he's mottled, so he's dark gunmetal grey, but can you see that? Almost
hang on a minute. He's got this mottled silver. He's a very dark oil slick. How can I get you to see this? He's a beautiful oil slick. So he's quite dark and the colours are quite subtle, but he's definitely got blues, purples, greens and dark and light silver in there. Can you see it? Look there. So purple, blue, green. Oh, beautiful. Anne, what do you think to these, my lovely? You've got a olive green, a dark forest green and a dark oil slick. Let me pop them on the board for you. Your olive green is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5, he's an 8. The forest green is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5, not an 8. He's an 8.5. And your oil slick is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5. He's an 8. I hope you're happy with all of those, my lovely. Let me just pop them in here for you. Can you have them all on hoop fittings? Of course you can. Let me write that down for you. That invoice will get sent through for you tomorrow and it will go to the order. No, it will go to the email address that's on the order form. I hope you're happy with those. Sorry, I've got a hair on my nose. You also have a trick or treat. So you're just giving them a mix. And in, oh, wrong way around. And in here, your trick or treat card. You also have a treat today, Anne. You have a 15% off code. So that means tomorrow you'll get a email from me with a 15% off code. You'll be able to use it straight away, but you can also hold on to it because it doesn't have an expiry date. So if you would like to order again in the future, you'll have that code to use. Anne, I hope you're happy with everything there. And thank you very much for the donations with your shells as well. And that's safe up there for you. Whoop, whoop. We've had only one trick today so far, haven't we? Now the cards, they do get topped up after each live. So the ones which are taken out, they get added back in again after each live. You're very, very welcome, Anne. Now, what I wanted to tell you is on YouTube, so if you're not following us on YouTube already, it's worth having a little look and possibly subscribing. But yesterday, I believe it was yesterday, we posted our how-to video. Now, it's around 10 minutes long, so it's not a long video at all, and it's just a video on how to open our oysters at home with a butter knife. And it literally just goes through the two different types of shells that we've got. So obviously we've got this type of shell and this type of shell. So it just shows you, and I sort of go through it step by step on how to open the oysters with a butter knife. Because obviously most households will have a butter knife. So obviously that's a very blunt knife. So yeah, it's just I just thought that would be quite helpful, especially with our Christmas boxes, which are oysters to open at home. That it's got that video then that you can always just reference beforehand if you wanted to. You watched it. What do you think, Sue? Was it helpful? Do I need to include anything else? Yeah, feedback. Love feedback. Okay, so up next then this evening is Lee Holbert. Oh, let me top these up though while I'm waiting. Lee, are you here? And this one. There we go, so that's all topped back up again. Does my plait have a kink in it? How has that happened? Sorry, I can just see the watch back video and it seems to have like a little kink in it. So I'm looking for Lee Holbert. Are you here? Lee, if you are here, it was good, very interesting. Love how detailed you were, especially how deep to go with the knife. Ah, perfect. Thank you, Sue. Lee, hello, hello, hello. You guys, you're all ready. You don't even need to see the faces slide. Keep the shells. Evil Knievel #2. Okay, so Evil Knievel is this one on the end. #2 is your centre bag. Let me just unhook him there. Can you see? Yeah, you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so Evil Knievel #2. Let's get him open. So 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so there's no more in that one there. Let me get these open for you. So you'd like to keep your shells. Are there certain colours that you're hoping for? Linda, hello my lovely. I hope you're well. Okay, so Lee, let's go down. Oyster #1. There's one side and the other side. And in here, you have a beautiful larger lemon yellow to start with, and there's no more in that one. Now what I'm going to be doing, because you'd like to keep your shells, we're going to be cleaning them as we go. Okay, so please bear with me. Yep, if you've ordered, it can be added on for tonight. That's not a problem. When we get to the end of this order list, I believe there's 4 people on it. We'll do an updated order list so you can hear and see whereabouts you are. So Lee, your first pearl out is a lemon yellow. Quite a nice sized pearl there as well. Moving on to oyster #2. There's one side and the other side. You'd love a blue, but wait and see. And as I read that, I opened up a twinning. Now they're actually a blurple. So again, a blurple is a mix between a blue and a purple. There's no more in that one. So it's close to blue. That's such a beautiful lighter colour though. And slightly two-tonal with them actually. If I pop them on the board, so they're very, parts of them are more blue, parts of them are more purple. If we go round the pearl here, oh, I'm just going to move them up slightly larger because it means I can go round easier, I should say. So you can see the, I can't speak, they're two-tonal, slightly mottled colour there, and then pearl #2 again you can see, oh, very purple there, then back into that sort of blue tone. So two-tonal blurples there, they are beautiful. And then moving on to your last oyster, there's one side and the other side. And in here you are quadding. 1, 2, 3 and 4. You are quadding, my lovely. Now again, I'm just going to clean these shells up for you. And then I'll have a closer look at those colours. Okay, so let me just dry these up as well. And if we pop these on the board for you, you have a larger dark grape purple, lemon yellow, coral, and a two-tonal icy blue. So the two-tonal icy blue has just got slightly lighter, can you see that, and slightly darker areas as you go around the pearl there. Coral, lemon, and a grape purple as well. Lee, what do you think to all of those, my lovely? If I pop them in the sand, I only did 2. Oh, I did. I'll grab the other shell in just a moment and I will clean it up for you. I do apologise. Thank you guys for keeping me on my toes. But no, I'll grab that for you in a moment, Lee. What do you think to these? You've got a larger lemon, twinning two-tonal blurples, then a quadding oyster with a dark grape, oh, sorry, I can't speak today, a dark grape purple, lemon yellow, coral, and a icy blue. If I pop them on the board for you, the lemon yellow is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5, not an 8. He's an 8.5. Two-tonal blurple number 1 is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5, not an 8. He's an 8.5. Two-tonal blurple number 2 is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5, not an 8. He's also an 8.5. And then your quadding oyster, the grape purple's not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, he's a 7. Your lemon yellow is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, he's a 7. Your coral's not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, he's a 7. And your icy blue is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, he's a 7 as well. Oh, let me clean up that shell. Sorry, I think I got distracted by the two-tonal blurples and popped the shell to the side. Okay. Perfect. So, Lee, I hope you're happy with all of those. Let me just pop these in here for you. And on here, I'm just going to wrap up your shells as well, and then we'll do your trick or treat, okay? There's 1 and 2, and if I pop your name on here for you, and then your pearls go on here. So, your trick or treat, good luck, my lovely. I have to double check where I'm putting my hand because obviously it's so close to that witch, I don't want to knock her over. Okay, so your trick or treat, and you have a treat. You have a extra oyster opening, Lee, which means if you're happy to do so now, you've got an extra oyster opening that will open up now. So what type of oyster would you like? And would you like to keep or would you like to donate your shells? So extra oyster opening for your treat. You can have any of the normal sorts of oysters. So mystery, Halloween, normal, Nunu, or expand the rainbow. What would you like? Can you have on stuff? You can. So those blurples, you can. What would you like them? What would you like them on? If I'm understanding you correctly. Ah, Halloween and keep. Did you mean studs? Sue, that's amazing. I just didn't. Okay, so Halloween oyster. Whoop. boop. Is there a certain colour you're hoping for here? So, let's go down. And your Halloween oyster, nearly called it a mystery then. You have a lighter pop there. And in here, there is your mother of pearl. And I can see in here you are twinning. And you're twinning, oh, both of them ran backwards and forwards. Run away. You are twinning with, they look to be darker chocolate twins actually. There's no more in that one. So again, I'm just going to clean the shells up for you. And then we'll have a closer look at these colours. Now with these ones, if you're happy with these colours, that's perfect. If you're not happy, we can swap them for you. So that's going to be completely up to you, Lee, my lovely, on what you would like to do, okay? So if I dry these up for you and pop them on the board. They're like a chocolatey chocolate. They're a chocolatey silver. And visually, you've got one larger and one visually smaller. So we will measure them for you as well. I do hope you're happy with those. If I pop them on the board, pearl number 1 is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, he's a 7. And pearl number 2 is not a 5, not a 5.5, whoop, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, he's a 7.5. So they are measuring at different sizes there. So it's up to you, Lee. If you're happy with those, that's perfect. Or if you prefer to swap them, we can do that for you. Again, I'm just wrapping up these shells for you. And there they are in the sand. Just going to bring you back up, but just confirm for me what you think to those chocolates. I've wrote down that you'd like the Blurple twins on studs. That's not a problem. That invoice will get sent through for you tomorrow, Lee, and it will go to the email address that's on the order form, okay? Lovely, perfect. Happy with those as well. So if I pop these all on here for you. Lee, I hope you're happy with everything that's on there. And then I've wrapped up your shells as well, and that's all safe up there for you. So I hope you'll be happy with everything once it arrives. Tea time. Hello.
Hello.
What are you eating? Enjoy. Thank you for the tea. Okay, perfect. So up next in this evening is Emma Favel. Emma, are you here? Lee, you're very, very welcome. There we go. So I'm just topping up that board again. Perfect. Emma Favel, are you here? Emma, hello. Nasha, number 1, please donate the shells. So Nasha's in the center. No, that's Dracula. Nasha's next to him. So that is Nasha, number 1. Donate the shells, and you're happy with all colours. Okay, so you have number 1, number 2 and number 3. There's no more in that one. Let me just get these open for you. 1, 2 and 3. Okay, so let's go down. Oyster number 1, Emma. There's one side. Oh, the shell's coming apart there slightly. I do apologise. And the other side. Oh, and with your first oyster, that's just the top half. There's no pearls there. With your first oyster, you are quadding. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Quadding, my lovely. And there's no more in that one. So if I just dry these up for you, and we're just going to pop them straight on the board so you can have a closer look. So you've got a candy floss pink, a lilac lavender, a black cherry and a sea green. Look at those. I love that colour combination. So candy floss pink, lilac lavender, black cherry and a sea green from a quadding oyster to start with there. Then moving on to oyster number 2. Oh! Oh my gosh. And the other side. And in here I can see a coral, and there's no more in that one. Sorry, she made me jump then. So you have a coral pearl there. Let me hold him up so you can see. And then moving on to your last oyster. Sorry, Laura, it's the witch. It's Madam Mim, the witch. She randomly talks. And the other side. And in here. And you are twinning. And you're twinning with lighter pastel apple green twins, Emma. Okay, so let me just dry these up for you as well. What do you think to all of your pearls? So here are the apple greens on the board for you. Aria, bless you, thank you for the stars. So if we go through all the colours together, you've got your quadding oyster to start with, and that's got that candy floss pink, lilac purple, black cherry and sea green. You've got your coral and then your twinning apple greens as well. If I pop them on the board, your sea green is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, he's a 7. Your black cherry is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, he's a 7. Your lilac purple is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7. Oh, he is a 7, sorry. And your candy floss is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, he's a 7. Twinning apple green is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, he's a 7. And apple green number 2 is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, he's a 7. So they're the same size there. And then your coral is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, he is a 7. So if I bring you back up there, Emma, I hope you're happy with all of those. Just going to pop these in here for you. Oh, Aria, bless you. Thank you, my lovely. So if I pop these on here for you, Emma. And then you have a trick or treat as well. So your trick or treat and oh, that way around. So your trick or treat, Emma, and you have a treat. You also have a extra oyster opening. Emma, my lovely, if you're happy to do that oyster opening now, what type of oyster would you like? And would you like to keep, or would you like to donate your shells? Oh, of course you can. I'll write that down about the lobster fittings. So for black cherry, purple, and one apple green on lobster. So I've got that down for you, and that invoice will get sent through tomorrow for you to the email address that's on the order form. So you do have a treat, which is a extra oyster opening. Which type of oyster would you like? Can you have Halloween? And donate your shells? Of course you can. So, oh, it's just the handle of the bag. The Halloween oyster, donating the shells. Would there be a certain colour that you're hoping for here? Let's go down. So your Halloween oyster, you have a lighter pop there. Ooh, and in here, there's your mother of pearl. And you've got a beautiful, bright, quite a nice, oh, backwards runner, deep sea green there. He's slightly deeper green than the sea green that you got out of the Tantalizing Treats oysters. Now, if I hold this up for you, Emma, if you're happy with this one, that's perfect. However, with this one, you can swap him. So if you're not happy, we can do that for you. So here he is on the board for you. Beautiful, deep green. Oh, slightly two-tonal. Sorry, he's lighter and darker as you go around the pearl there. Look at that. If I pop him through the board for you, he's not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7. He's a 7.5. What do you think to that one? Thank you, Patricia, and hello. Sorry for all the movement then. I'm just going to bring you back up. However, I'm just going to keep it out there just in case you're not happy with the colour, Emma. Do I have any two-tone purples? I'm sure I do. Let me have a look for you. Two-tone purple. Light or dark purple, or don't you mind? So we've got that one. That one. And so I'm just trying to find, there we go. 3 different ones to show you. so if we go back down, so we've got this one here, which is a lighter grape purple and silver. So you can see the grape purple there. As we go round, it goes more to a silver, and then we go back into that grape purple again. So that's a lighter grape purple and silver. This one here, it's a pinkle and purple. So, no, purple and purple, sorry. So it's a purple and pink pearl, but it definitely has bright, bold sections of the purple on him. And then that base purple colour. So that's pinky purple. And again, two-tonal, you can see going around there. And then your last one I've got here is this darker purple. Now this has got this mottled sort of different purple shades and silver to him. So it's that sort of mottled effect. But it's a dark Cadbury purple base. Okay. Are any of those what you're looking for? So you've got that lighter two-tonal silver grape, that two-tonal purple, and that darker Cadbury purple mottled pearl. Oh, bless you, Amy. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying the pearls. I can pop them on the board for you, Emma, as well, if that helps. 1, 2, and 3. Can you have the dark one? Of course you can, on a lobster fitting. Not a problem. Let me just pop these other ones back in here. And take that one away. So if I bring you back up here then, so we're going to have, let me write this down, like a purple ombre, yes. So we're going to have, and the dark purple, dark mottled purple. Okay, so perfect. I've got that all down for you. So again, the invoice will get sent through for you tomorrow, and it will go to the email address that's on the order form. Thank you, Emma, very much for the donations with your shells, and I do hope you'll be happy with everything once it arrives, and that's safe up there for you. Okay, perfect. Up next this evening is Linda Heath. Linda, are you here? Emma, you're very, very welcome. Linda, you guys are I'm so impressed with everyone. I honestly don't mind going to the pumpkin faces slide, but you all know. So Casper hasn't been chosen tonight yet, actually, Linda. So Casper number 2. So Casper is this first one. Number 2 is in the centre. So let me just unhook him. And this is Casper. So Casper number 2. Linda, would you like to keep or would you like to donate your shells? And are there certain colours you're hoping for? So 1, 2, and 3. And there's no more in that one. She does move, Amy. That's the thing. She does move. Her mouth does that sort of her lies. Her eyes light up and flash. She talks, makes noises. She does. She moves. So, let's go down. You'd like to keep your shells, Linda, and any colours. Okay, my lovely. So we're going to start with this oyster here. You have a lighter pop there. Oh, and in here There's your mother of pearl. Straight away, oh, and he's ran out. Straight away I could see a gold pearl there. Now the flesh is sort of more towards this. Oh, the flesh is going to come away. Yep, let me have a squidge in here. And there's no more in that one. So if I hold up this pearl so you can have a close look at this gold pearl, my lovely. Look at him, he's beautiful. I hope you're happy with your first one there. Then moving on to oyster number 2 from Casper number 2. There's one side and the other side, and in here we have a darker pearl. He looks like he's a dark silver there, and there's no more in that one. Oh, you'd like to keep your shells, sorry. He is, if I pop him on the board for you, oh, I think he's going to go through the 6. So he is a dark silver pearl. And I'm just going to clean these shells up as we go. This is a slightly smaller shell, this one. Okay, and then your last oyster. Bless you, Mandy. Thank you for joining us today. There's one side and the other side. And in here, you have a darker pearl again there. Okay, so if I just dry and clean him up for you, and we'll have a closer look at that pearl's colour. Okay, so he is a darker gunmetal grey. So you've got a gold, a silver and a dark gunmetal grey. I hope you're happy with these, my lovely. If I run them through the board, your silver is not a 5, not a 5.5, he is a 6 there. The gunmetal grey is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, he's a 7. And then your gold is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5, he is an 8. I hope you're happy with those, my lovely. No, we haven't changed, my lovely. So if I bring you back up, Linda, just going to wrap up your shells for you. We're live every Tuesday, Friday and Sunday night. Then we're live on the first Wednesday of every month. And then I believe it's roughly the second Saturday, daytime live. But do check our events because that's where all our dates are. And the pinned post on the Pearls and Brecon page, all our dates are on there as well. Linda, you're very, very welcome. I'm glad you're happy with them. Just going to pop them in here for you. And I've just wrapped up your shells. And then we'll do your trick or treat. So, again, just give them a little mix. And in here, your trick or treat. Linda, you also have a treat of an extra oyster opening. There's quite a few today coming out with extra oyster openings. Linda, I hope you're happy with that. So if you're happy to do so, we'll do that now for you. In which case, what type of oyster would you like? And would you like to keep or would you like to donate your shells? No, not a problem at all. I understand life It gets in the way, it really does. But yeah, all our dates are in the event section. We normally update that monthly, so all of October dates are in there at the moment. At the end of October I'll pop all of November dates in there, and then the same with the pinned post on the page. They're all written down just so you can see when we're live for. Linda, Halloween oyster and keep your shells. Now, is there a certain colour you're hoping for with this one? Okay, so let me get him open for you. And let's go down. So in here, oh, beautiful pop. Almost like a pop crunch with that one. Oh, and you've got a runaway. He ran away. That now he's gone under the oyster. Oh, okay. So you've got a runaway, and I can see one in here. Linda, you are twinning, and you're twinning with sea green twins there. However, they are two-tonal sea green twins. So again, let me just take the flesh off here for you. And if I dry your pearls up, and then you can have a closer look. Now with these ones, if you're happy with these colours, that's perfect. But you can swap these ones if you're not happy. So these are lighter sea greens, and if we go around the pearl, you can see lighter and darker areas there. And then pearl number 2, again, lighter and darker tones as you go around the pearl. Twin number 1 is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7. Oh, he's a 7.5. And twin number 2 is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7. He's a 7.5 as well, so they're measuring the same size there. Linda, can you confirm, are you happy with those, my lovely? And again, I'm just going to wrap these shells up. Bless you. Thank you, my lovely. You too. Can you change one for a lilac? Now let me bring you back up. We can definitely do that for you. However, there is going to be a wait on the lilacs. We do have a little bit of a waiting list for that colour. So if you don't mind the wait, I can definitely pop you on the waiting list for it. However, if you prefer not to wait, is there a different colour that you'd prefer to have? Laura, bless you. Thank you for the stars. And yes, we've got one more person, and then I'll be doing an updated order list. So if you've ordered for tonight, then yeah, you'll be on tonight. And just like I say, one more person after Linda, and then I'll do that updated order list for you. That's okay for the weight? Okay, perfect. So if I write that down for you, we're going to swap one sea green for the lilac purple. Okay, so I've got that down for you, my lovely, and that will get done, but there's just, like I say, just a little bit of a wait on that. So as long as you're happy and know that, then that I'm happy to pop you on the waiting list. Okay, so I've got that all down for you, and I've wrapped up your shells as well. Linda, I hope you're happy with everything once it arrives, and that's safe up there for you. Woohoo! You're very, very welcome. Okay, up next is Cara Sean. Cara, are you here? Cara, hello, hello, hello. I was just topping up the bags, and you would like Evil Knievel number 1. So that's this one over here. Can you see what I'm doing? Yep. Evil Knievel number 1. So here is Evil Knievel, and if I get him open, there's one. Oh, 2 and 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3, I don't know if you can see, 4 oysters in that one. Let me get these open for you. Would you like, oh, donate the shells. Cara, are there certain colours that you're hoping for? One, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, so let's go down. Oyster number 1. There's one side and the other side. And in your first oyster, you have a darker pearl there. And there's no more in that one. Not really, just excited to see what colours come out to add to your collection. Okay, so your first colour out is this darker chocolate. So that's a beautiful darker chocolate brown to start with. Moving on to oyster number 2. There's one side and the other side. And in here, you have another darker pearl there. And there's no more in that one. And this one's two-tonal. Okay, so hopefully we're going to be able to see this. He's a two-tonal purple and chocolate, almost like a mottled effect. I'm going to actually hold him up with the pearl picker. Oh, I've just spilt sand. So, hopefully you're going to be able to see this. He's stunning. He's got, like I say, this mottled effect with purples and chocolates there. Oh! And then 2 oysters to go. So moving on to your next oyster. There we go. There's one side and the other side. And in here you have another darker coloured pearl. And there's no more in that one. Now this one is a dark silver. So you've got a chocolate, a mottled chocolate and purple, and now a darker silver. And then moving on to your last oyster, Cara. So in here, there's one side, oh, and the other side. And in here, going with the trend for the darker pearls with this one. And there's no more in that one. Okay, so in here, now he is, let me just double check him against the sand. He's either a very dark gunmetal. Oh, he is. He's a very dark gunmetal. He's not quite a black. So altogether you've got a chocolate, a mottled purple and chocolate. Let me pop them on the board. A silver and a very dark gunmetal. Cara, I hope you're happy with all of these, my lovely. There they all are on this board for you. I do like the darker ones because they just show the depth of each colour. Like these are all dark, but they're such different ranges. I love that, I really do. So if I pop them through the board, your chocolate is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7. He's a 7.5. Your silver is not a 5, not a 5.5. He is a 6. the mottled chocolate and purple is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7. He's a 7.5. And that darker gunmetal grey is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5. He is an 8. And let me bring you back up there. Cara, I do hope you're happy with all of those. If I pop them on here for you. And thank you very, very much for the donations with your shells as well. So you have a trick or treat as well, my lovely. So, can you see? Okay, so you have a trick or treat. Oh my gosh, you have a treat with an extra oyster opening. There is, all of the treats are going, all the ones we've done are going in here. Okay, so there's quite a few. You have an extra oyster opening, so if you're happy, we'll do that now, Cara. Oh, you'd like the invoice for the silver on a small lobster fitting. Invoice for mottled, I'm going to call it mottled purple, and gunmetal on normal lobster. And the chocolate loose, I'm going to write down chocolate loose just because choc loose. Perfect. Ooh. And your extra opening, Halloween and donate the shells. Is there a certain colour you're hoping for? Okay, so Halloween oyster. That invoice will get sent through all you tomorrow, Cara, and it will go to the email address that's on the order form. I'm sure you all know that by now, as I say it every time, but I just don't want to sort of expect you to know. So that's why I do say it. Yeah, because it's not fair for me to just assume that you'd know that. So let's go down. Is there a certain colour that you're hoping for with this Halloween oyster? Anne, bless you. Thank you for the stars there, my lovely. So I'm just going to pop that again. There we go. So in here, there is your mother of pearl. And let me have a squidge in here, my lovely. Oh, tell me about it, Emma. Oh, Cara, in here, you are twinning. And you're sticking with your theme of darker pearls there. There's no more in that one. And let me just dry these off and we'll have a closer look to see what colour they are. Now with these ones, Cara, you can choose to swap them if you would like to, swap the colours. But of course, if you're happy with the colours, that's perfect. Now these are a dark silver purple. So hopefully you'll be able to see they've got this base silver, but they do have a purple overtone to them. If I run them through the board, visually this one here does look visually larger than his twin. So if I do the visually smaller first, he's not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, he's a 7. And the visually larger is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7. He is a 7.5. So they are measuring at different sizes there as well. So you can see that sort of silvery purple tone coming through there. Now, like I say, Cara, if you're happy with those, that's perfect. Or if you would prefer to swap these ones, you can do so. swap smaller for a black cherry, both on lobster fittings. Of course, not a problem. So swap the smaller one for a black cherry, and both of these on, are these normal size lobster fittings? Oh, now is that, I'm going to actually go for a slightly brighter one. There you go. Still quite a nice dark black cherry, but slightly brighter. Is that, can you just confirm if you're happy with that there, my lovely? Kia, am I allowed to tell that story? Let me bring you back up. And if I write that down as well for you, Cara. Normal lobsters, perfect. So that invoice will get sent through for you tomorrow. I do hope you're happy with everything once it arrives. Thank you for the donations with your shells, and that's safe up there for you. Yes. Okay, so those of you, Kia is obviously new worker for Pearls of Brecon, employee, should I say. And she was, her chair has wheels on. So she scooted her chair back to get something, and then she went to scoot forward to come back to the desk. But as she scooted forward, she didn't hold on to the arms of her chair. So she scooted forward, her legs went straight under the desk, her bum flew and hit the floor, and the chair went flying backwards. And I sort of was like, why on the floor? And obviously she's still saying she's still hurting from when she fell on the floor. Bless her heart. She's now learnt to just hold on to the handle of to the side of the chair. Bless her. While she scoots around, she literally scooted herself off of the chair. Oh, she won't do that again. And it was the fact that she literally landed like straight legged, like she'd gone like tobogganing down a snow slope, straight legged, like, oh. But she didn't. Oh. We were allowed to laugh. She was laughing. I did check. To be honest, we took a photo and she was okay. I didn't share the photo. Oh, right. Okay, so we're going to do an updated order list now. So I've just printed them off. And if I read them out and do the updated order list and write them out as we go again. Okay. When you need a video camera. Oh, I know. Ouch, not yeah, it was a, but she didn't thud that loudly. She's only a little thing. She's she's only a little thing. So it didn't, I heard a thud, but it just sounded like a thud. Like for me, I'd drop my arm on the table kind of thud. So when I looked around, I was like, why on the floor? I honestly, my first reaction was, are you getting out something from under the table? Bless her. Right, okay, so updated order list. Again, I'm going to read it as I type it, and then I'll post the actual list as well. So up first is Cassandra Abbott. And then Laura Treat. We then have Jade Perryman. Sandy Woodhouse. And Carol Grant, and that is the order list. So Cassandra A, Laura T, Jade P, Sandy W, and Carol G. So I'm just going to post this on the updated list on the page. Again, I'm just going to leave a space and then do that new order list again. So that's 5 people there, adding to the order list. And I'll add it into the comments as well. You've been framed. I mean, I could set up, no, I'm not going to set up a video in the camera in the office, Kia. Although sometimes we do video packaging, so sometimes there will be a video set up. So I've just posted the order list there in the comments on the page, and I've just read it out as well. So if you have ordered, hopefully you heard your name there. So up first is Cassie Abbott. Cassie, are you here? Oh, let me just top these up as well. No, I'm not. No, I do. We do packaging videos. Like, honestly, we do. It's like a AMSR thing as well, because it's just the sounds of it. So we do have a camera sometimes set up recording. Cassie, hello. There's no faces involved though, Kia. It's fine. Cassie, hello, hello, hello. You would have a tantalizing treat. Can you have toothy number 3, and can you keep the shells? Of course you can. And you're hoping for blues, and you're hoping to be in the 9 club. Fingers crossed. So toothy is this one here. Number 3, can you see? That's this one here. So let's take him off there. So toothy, number 3, 1, 2, and 3 oysters in there. Let me get these open. So you're hoping for blue pearls, and you're hoping to be in the 9 club. Okay, so let's go down. Oyster number 1, Cassie. There's one side and the other side. And in your first oyster, you are twinning. And you're twinning with Candy Floss pinks there. Now it does look like one pink is slightly darker than his twin. So we'll have a closer look at those in just a moment, because you'd like to keep your shells. I'm going to clean them as we go. Okay, so just bear with me a moment. So if I dry these up for you. So, oh, sorry, I'm going to pop them board. You've got a darker and a lighter pink twin there. So I've got sand everywhere. So the dark bits are just the sand that I've just picked up. Yeah, there are cages on the website. There's lots of different styles of jewellery on the website, my lovely. So if you go to pendants and then cage pendants, you can see them there, or just type in cage into the search bar and it'll bring them all up for you. Cassie, your second oyster. There's one side and the other side. And in here, you are twinning for a second time, and you're twinning pinks again, my lovely. Now these pinks, they visually look slightly larger than your first set of pink twins there. Now let me just dry and clean these up for you, and then we'll have a closer look at these ones as well. Okay, so here are your second set of pink twins. Actually, possibly slightly different shades to these. Just slightly. Oh. And then moving on to your last oyster, my lovely. And you're twinning with pink twins again. Now these are brighter pinks. You have more of a brighter hot pink twin here. So 3 oysters, 3 sets of pink twins, my lovely. I hope you're happy with pinks. Now I'm just cleaning up the flesh for you. And then I'm just going to pop these ones on the board as well. Good job, you love pink. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you love pink as well. Okay, so here are your hot pinks as well. So I'm just going to pop them in the sand. I'm going to hold it up. I can't guarantee that the lighting, because pinks are one of those colours that sort of normally go really bright. Actually, that's not too bad. So 2 sets of more candy floss pink twins, and then you've got those hot pink twins as well. If I run them through the board, so your first set of pinks, twin number 1 is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, he's a 7. Twin number 2 is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, he's a 7. So they're measuring the same size but visually look slightly different. I think that's because of the colour. The colour is making them visually look slightly different there. Pink twin set 2, twin 1 is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7. He's a 7.5, and his twin is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7. He's a 7.5. So you've got a 7 set, a 7.5 set, and then the hot pinks are not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6. He's a 6.5, and his twin is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6. He's a 6.5 as well. What do you think to all of those? I'm just going to wrap up your shells for you. I understand that, Vicky. Not everyone's a pink fan. They're beautiful and look lovely in your bottle. They will indeed, especially having all the different shades next to each other. Oh, you can have it like an ombre effect. I'm glad you're happy with those, my lovely. I'm just popping these in here for you. And then if we do your trick or treat, good luck. Okay, so wrong way around. In here, your trick or treat, you have a treat. You have 15% off code for the website, which means if you would like to order again in the future, I'm going to send you a 15% off code, which you can use straight away, or if you'd like to hold on to it, you can, because it doesn't have an expiry date. So I hope you're happy with that, and that will get sent through tomorrow, Cassie, to the email address that's on the order form. I've popped that all safely up there for you with your shells as well, and I do hope you're happy with everything once it arrives. Okay. I am, Lauren, thank you. I hope you're well as well. Cassie, you're very, very welcome. Right, up next is Laura Treat Rodriguez. Laura Treat, are you here? So I'm just topping up the bags again. Laura, hello, hello, hello. So Laura, bear with me just a second. There we go. So Laura, you have a tantalizing treat as well. So I'm just going to bring you across to our pumpkin faces. So what I'll need you to do is to pick a pumpkin face and pick number 1, 2 or 3. So number 1 is the top row, number 2 is the second row, and number 3 is the third row. So the faces you've got to pick from are Casper, Toothy, Dracula, Gnasher and Evil Knievel. Laura, which face would you like, and would you like number 1, 2 or 3? Laura, you'd like Gnasher, not a problem. Let me bring you back to me. Would you like number 1, 2 or 3, my lovely? Number 3. So Gnasher number 3 is, oh, let me move out the way. Gnasher number 3 is this one. So would you like to keep or would you like to donate your shells? And are there certain colours that you're hoping for? So if we get this one open, you have, one fell backwards, 2 and 3. So you have 3 oysters in there. Let me get these open for you. Number 1, number 2, and number 3. Okay, so Laura, let's go down. Donate the shells. Perfect, thank you. Oyster number 1. You have a softer pop there. And in here, there's your mother of pearl. Straight away, I can see a beautiful, really rich coloured chocolate bronze pearl there. There's no more in that one. So let me pop him on the board for you. Gorgeous, deep, rich chocolate bronze. Moving on to oyster number 2. Oh, there's one side. And the other side. And in your second oyster, Laura, you are quadding. 1, 2, 3 and 4. You have got 4 pearls in your second oyster there. So let me just dry these up for you. And if I pop these on the board, you've got a candy floss pink and a lilac purple. You've got a sea green and a black cherry. Now we had similar quadding colours earlier actually. I remember the green and the purple together. So candy floss pink, lilac purple, sea green, slightly two-tonal with your sea green, just lighter and darker areas as you go around there. And then that black cherry. Just moving these into the sand. And then moving on to your last oyster. And in here, there's one side and the other side. And you have a candy floss pink. And there's no more in that one. Okay, so Laura, what do you think to all of these? You've got that dark, deep, rich chocolate bronze, two-tonal sea green, black cherry, candy pink and lilac purple, and then you've got a candy pink as well. What do you think to those? I hope you're happy with them. If I run them through the board, your chocolate bronze is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5, he's an 8. Lilac purple's not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, he's a 7. Candy pink is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, he's a 7. Black cherry is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, he's a 7. And the sea green is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, he's a 7. And then the candy pink on his own is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, he's a 7.5. I'm afraid, Laura, with the Tantalizing Treats, there's no pearl colour swaps. Obviously, with normal orders, then yes, we swap the colours to whatever you would choose to. But with the Tantalizing Treats, there are no pearl colour swaps. I hope you can understand that. In which case, what would you like to do? They are wonderful. Bless you. Which ones, so just to confirm to me, which colour did you want on the pin cap? Just so I know, so I don't get it wrong. Can they all be put onto pin caps? Oh, yes, of course they can. Okay, sorry, I think I misunderstood you before. Yes, they can all be put on there. Let me make a note of that for you. Okay, perfect. I've got that down for you. That invoice will get sent through tomorrow for you, and it will go through to the email address that's on the order form. You also have a trick or treat, so I'm just giving these a little mix. And then your trick or treat, and there is trick or treat, and you have a treat, and your treat is 20% off code for the website. So tomorrow you'll get an email from us with a 20% off code, which means you'll be able to use that straight away if you would like to order again, or you can hold on to it because it won't have an expiry date on it. So that will get sent through for tomorrow for you as well, Laura. I hope you're happy with that, and I hope you'll be happy with everything once it all arrives, and that's safe up there for you. You're very, very welcome. Right, up next this evening is Jade Perryman. Jade, are you here? Oh, Laura, bless you. Thank you for the stars. So with these ones, I don't believe so. All the codes have been made. I don't believe these codes would coincide with each other. So I think it would be on each individual order. Sorry, I've just looked at I don't know who asked the question because I can just see the replied to comment. But yeah, I believe with these ones, they're all pre-made. So I don't believe they can match up together. Jade, hello. Can you have Evil Knievel number 2, Keep Your Shells, and you're hoping for a purple or a blue. So you can indeed. Evil Knievel's at the end here. Let me move out the way. Oh, the bats just fell down. So Evil Knievel number 2. Oh no. no. Okay, they're just going to have to be down for a minute. I'll get Aaron to come and pin them back up. So Evel Knievel number 2, and keep the shells, hoping for a purple or a blue. So you have 1, 2 and 3 oysters. There's no more in that one. Let me get these open. Oh, bless you, Cassie. Okay, no, you're very welcome. So oyster 1, 2. Now oyster number 2, I can already see has got a little bit, or got quite a bit of a crack in him there. So that shell may, or probably will fall apart when we open him. I'll do my best to keep him as intact as I can though, okay. So if we move down, good luck, my lovely. So we'll start with this oyster here. Oh, quite a nice sharp pop there. And in your first oyster, there is your mother of pearl. And I can see a little bit of a peeper there to the side. Oh, and you're twinning. You're twinning with icy blue twins there. Now straight away we can see that one blue is that brighter, deeper blue, and one blue is that lighter, more pastel-y blue. So you are twinning, but they are different shades. So again, I'm just going to dry these up for you. And pop them on here. So you can see you've got that brighter blue and then that lighter blue as well. Then moving on to oyster number 2. Now we'll do that oyster with the cracked shell there. So in here, there's one side, oh, and the other side, and okay, so you can see you've got a lemon yellow, and there's no more in there. So what I'm going to do is this half of the shell is completely in 3 pieces. So we are going to pop that one to the side, but this half I can still keep for you. I hope that's okay. So you've got a lemon yellow pearl out of this one. Let me dry him up and hold him up so you can see. And there he is there. And then moving on to your last oyster. There's one side and the other side. Just going to do that first side again. Excuse me. And in here you have a candy floss pink. There's no more in that one. Okay, so Jade, you've got twinning icy blues, one of which is brighter and one is lighter. You've got a lemon yellow and you have a candy floss pink. What do you think to these colours? I hope you're happy with them. Again, I'm just going to pop your pink on the board so you can have a closer look. And then if I put them all in the sand as well. So brighter and lighter icy blues, lemon yellow and candy floss pink. If we run them through the board for you, you have a icy blue. The lighter of the two is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6. He's a 6.5. The brighter of the two is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6. He's a 6.5. Lemon yellow is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6. He's a 6.5. And the pink is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5. He's an 8. If I bring you back up here. I'm glad you're happy with them, Jade. I'm just going to pop these in here for you, and then I'm going to wrap up your shells as well. I'm glad you're happy with the colours. Now you also have a oyster opening, Jade, as well. Do you know what type of oyster you would like, and if you would like to keep or if you'd like to donate your shells with those ones? Why do I always have done, Sophie, and I quite like to know the sizes. For some jewellery, it's nice to know sizes. For example, some charms suit smaller pearls, some items suit larger pearls, and it's for you guys as well. I think because I've always done it, it's always nice to know. I think for the regulars as well. I think it'd be weird if I didn't do it now. Yeah. Just I've always have, and it's quite nice because our largest pearl so far has been a 9, and we haven't had a pearl larger than a 9 yet. I'm sure we will. Oh, fingers crossed that we will. Excuse me. No, Laura, there's not. Jade, Halloween. Would you like to keep or would you like to donate these shells? And is there a certain colour that you're hoping for? So let me get this one open. And let's go down. Okay, so your Halloween oyster. Oh, beautiful pop with that one. And in here, look at that. You are twinning. And twinning with darker TARDIS blues there. Hoping for a purple. Now you're twinning with darker TARDIS blues. I'm just going to clean these shells up for you. Now with these ones, Jade, if you're not happy with the colour, we can swap the colours for you. So you can swap one or both of these pearls. Of course, if you're happy with these, that's fine as well. So it's completely up to you. So if I'll hold them up so you can have a look and then just let me know what you think and what you would like to do. Again, visually, they do look like they're slightly different sizes here. Look at those. I'm going to put them both on the board as well. Really deep TARDIS blue there. So the visually smaller of the two is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5, he's an 8. The visually larger of the two is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5, not an 8. He's an 8.5, so they are measuring at slightly different sizes there. And you'll keep them both perfect. I'm glad you're happy with those, Jade. So I'm just going to pop these on here as well, and then I'm going to wrap up these shells for you. Okay, perfect. So your trick or treat. I'm glad you're happy with all of your colours there. Oh, dearie me. Your trick or treat, my lovely. Just waiting for her to finish. Oh, right, so your trick or treat. You have a treat. I still think we've only had one trick today. You have a treat which is 20% off code. So tomorrow you'll get a 20% off code from us. So if you would like to order again in the future, you can have that to use. It will be emailed to the email address that's on the order form, and you can use it straight away, but you can hold on to it because it doesn't have an expiry date on there. Jade, I hope you're happy with that. That's safe up there for you. Who jumped? Sophie, did you jump? Yeah, that made me jump, that one did. She's very random. I think somebody said earlier about the sensor. I think there is a sensor, but I don't know where it is. So, yeah. Jade, you're very, very welcome there. Oh, bless you, Aaron. Oh, I suppose when you're not expecting it. Those of you, because obviously a lot of people say that if they can't sleep, they pop the live on. So obviously it's 10:30, so some people may be going to sleep. And if they suddenly hear her go off, I am so sorry. so sorry. Gosh. And Sandy, hello my lovely. So Sandy Woodhouse, you are up next. We'll do your tantalizing treat first, that's not a problem. So can you have Nasha number 2 and keep your shells? Thank you very much, Bab. So Nasha number 2, keep your shells, and you're hoping for blues. So Nasha number 2 is this one here. Sent too early? No, not too early. It's absolutely fine. Nasha number 2. Number 1, 2 and 3. You have 3 oysters in that one. What colour did you say? Blues. Okay, so keeping your shells and you're hoping for blues. So good luck. I'm just getting these ones open for you. Okay. So let's go down. Oyster number 1. There's one side. Oh! And the other side. Ah, and in your first oyster, you are quadding. You have got 4 pearls in your first oyster there. And there's no more in that one. Cassie, if that's a scary film, then nope. I am a real wimp. I don't even watch some 12s. Yeah, I have to sort of ask Aaron to vet them for me. And yeah, if they're in any way creepy. I don't mind like blood and guts and gore, that's okay. But it's like the mentally creepy stuff, it just freaks me out. So let me dry your first set up. So you're quadding with your first oyster here. Oh. Eek! Love that. So you have a grape purple, a icy blue, a bright gorgeous coral, and a brighter lemon yellow there. So grape purple, icy blue, coral, and lemon yellow. And then moving on to oyster number 2. There's one side and the other side. You can indeed, Sophie, yes. Oh, and in here you've had a runaway there. And there's no more in that one. Now with this one here, Sandy, I need to have a little closer look because it's either a deep dark purple or he's a midnight blue. So let me just clean this shell up for you and then we'll have a closer look to see if he's a dark purple or a midnight blue. Bless you, Sophie, thank you. Okay, so he is a purple. Very close to being a blue though, slightly two-tonal with lighter areas as well, but very dark purple there. Moving on to your last oyster from your Tantalizing Treats. There's one side and the other side. And in here you have a sea green, and there's no more in that one. So again, let me just take the flesh off there for you. Okay, and again, your green's two-tonal. I'm loving the two-tonal pearls today. Okay, so lighter and darker areas. There you go. Look, you can see that silver and green. Sandy, what do you think to all of these? I hope you're happy with them. So you've got grape purple, icy blue, coral and yellow. That beauty, it's a dark purple, but can you see what I mean? It almost looks like his midnight blue there as well. So it is that sort of deep purple, almost blue colour, and then you've got that two-tonal sea green. If I run them through the board for you, the lemon yellow is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, he's a 7. The coral is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, he's a 7. Icy blue's not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, he's a 7.5. And grape purple's not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, he's a 7. That dark deep purple's not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, he's a 7.5. And the sea green is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5, he's an 8. You love them all. Perfect. Let me just pop them in here for you. Okay, so you also have a sparkle dip and an oyster opening with your sparkle dip. So if you just give me a moment, and we'll do your sparkle dip first and then the oyster opening to follow, if that's okay. Let me just attach these on here. So that's those shells nicely wrapped up, safe for you. So your sparkle dip, my lovely. It will be on tonight, yeah. So we do have somebody to add on. I'm ever so sorry. I saw that somebody who I called earlier is here now. I didn't catch the name though. So if that was you, please shout at me so I can add you back in. But yes, if you would like to order for tonight, it will still be on tonight. I'll do an updated order list when we get to the end of this one. So your sparkle dip, we're just going to dive in and give them a mix to start with. Thank you, Sophie. And then I'm going to close my eyes, dive in, pull out a big chunk and see what we get, Sandy. Oh, they're going everywhere. Is that one? That is one. Okay, so your sparkle dip, where did I pop the... Where did I put it? Oh, sorry, the card that I put the pendants on. So your sparkle dip, you have the large raindrop shaped crystal pendant here. Now let's go down so I can show you. So as you can see here, it's this large raindrop shape with the reverse bail, so both the pendant and the bail's points sort of meet at the top here. Now this is the silver crackle. So it's a clear crystal and then it's got this silver crackle on the back. So this is the front of the pendant. You can see that crackle coming through. If I turn it around, you can see more clearly that crackle design. So you could wear the pendant that way round, but it is intended to sort of have it through that crystal so you can get the sparkle with it as well. Now, if you're happy with this one, you can stick, or if you would like to risk it, you can twist it, my lovely. So let me know what you think and what you would like to do. You love it. Does that mean you would like to stick with that one? And if so, you have an oyster opening alongside him. What type of oyster would you like? And would you like to keep or would you like to donate your shells? Stick. Perfect. I'm so glad when people stick. I love it because it means that obviously you're happy with that pendant. Obviously, if you're twisting, it doesn't mean that you're not happy. But yeah, it's just I don't want to dig myself a hole. But yeah, I love it when people stick. But yeah, what type of oyster would you like with that one? And would you like to keep or would you like to donate your shells? Oh, no, it's absolutely fine. Okay, so we've got mystery oysters, which are a mix of all the colours. We've got Halloween oysters, which are more Halloween colours. We've got new rainbow oysters, which are dark rainbow colours. Expand the rainbow oysters, which are lighter rainbow colours. Then we've got normal oysters, which are normal natural colours. So you've got a mix of all the colours, Halloween colours, dark rainbow, light rainbow, and natural. So you don't need to know the bag names or anything like that. It's just more sort of what colour you're aiming to go for. So mix of all of them, Halloween, dark rainbow, light rainbow, or natural. Normal, perfect. That's this one over here, I believe. Yep. And keep your shells. Okay. So with this one, you can choose whether to have the pearl on or off of the jewellery, and also you can swap the pearl if you're not happy with it. Okay, so lots of decisions with this one. So let's open him up for you. There's one side and the other side, and in here you are twinning. And you're twinning with more like a pinky rose gold actually. And there's no more in that one. Okay, so pinky rose gold twins here. Now, are you thinking to have the pearl on the jewellery or would you prefer to have them loose? So it would be one pearl on the jewellery, and I'm just saying because I can hold it up next to the jewellery if you'd like to see that. Also, if you're not happy with the colours, we can swap them for you. So pink number 1 is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, he's a 7.5. Pink number 2 is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7. He's a 7.5 as well. So that pinky rose gold next to that pendant there. If you would like to have it on here, and it would sit around here on the pendant, it would be able to move around up here. Or if you prefer, you can have them loose. And like I say, you can swap the pearl colour if you want to. So lots of decisions there. Just so then you can make it your jewellery how you would like to have it. Let me bring you back up. You can okay, perfect. Did I measure them? I did measure them. That's not a problem. I've got that down for you. I'm just popping them in the correct bags there, so then they're all in the correct bag ready. That is okay, yeah, we can do that for you. You also then have an additional oyster opening as well. What type of oyster would you like with that one? And are you keeping your shells again there? So I'm just writing this down. Please bear with me. Perfect. Got that down for you. The dark new one and donate, you can indeed. Okay, so would there be a certain colour you're hoping for here with your darker rainbow colours, which like you say is the new rainbow oyster? I know they've got weird names. The bags sort of evolved because when we first started we only had one type of oyster. So the bags have evolved and with them the names have evolved and now the names have stuck and we can't change them. So yeah, they are strange names. So your new rainbow oyster, my lovely. There's one side and the other side. And in here you have your darker pearl. And there's no more in that one. Oh, sorry. You have a dark oil slick, so it's very dark. The colours are quite subtle. So it's a base gunmetal grey, which is a very dark, almost black colour. But as we go around, I'm going to move slowly, so hopefully you can see. As we go around, you get these blues, purples and greens flashing through. Sandy, I hope you're happy with that one. Now again, if you're not happy with that colour, we can swap him for you. So it's going to be up to you what you would like to do. So he's not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5. He is an 8. That's gorgeous. Perfect. So let me pop that one on here as well. If I bring you back up. Okay, Sandy, I hope you're happy with everything there. I've got that all down for you and I've wrapped up your shells as well. And thank you for the shells that you've donated. Let's do your trick or treat. So your trick or treat, my lovely. You have a trick. That does mean that there's nothing on the back of that card there. But I do hope you'll be happy with everything once it arrives. That's safe up there for you. No, you're very, very welcome. Okay, so I'm just going to, if you give me a second to just top these up because we're missing quite a few now. And that one. Okay, so up next then this evening is Carol Grant. And after Carol, I'll be doing an updated order list, okay? Who was the person who said that they're here now? So their name was earlier. And that they'd like me to add them back in. Who was that? If you're still here, let me know you're here because I didn't grab your name. I didn't catch it. I do apologise. So yeah, so let me know so I can add you back in again. Carol, hello. You're ready as well. Dracula #1. And can you put them together? Yes, they will be popped together. That's not a problem. Jess, it was you. Okay, I will add you back in as well. Thank you for letting me know. Like I said, I saw somebody wrote it. I didn't catch the name before it went. So Carol, Dracula #1. Dracula is this one here. Would you like to keep or would you like to donate your shells? Sandy, bless you. Thank you for the stars. So you have 1, 2 and 3 oysters in that one. Yep, if you've ordered on the website, I will be printing those off and doing an updated order list as well. Not a problem. So Carol, would you like to keep or would you like to donate your shells? And are there certain colours you're hoping for? Let's go down. I'm just going to have a sip of my drink. Donate your shells, not a problem. Like I say, is there a certain colour you're hoping for? Oh, Mr. Lobster has trodden on this shell as well. This shell's got a crack in him there. We'll start with this one. This shell may fall apart as I open him up. So, yeah, there's one side. However, I can see a peeper straight away. I don't want it to run. I'm going to have to lift the shell up while the pearl may run away. Yep, and you've got 1 and 2 runaways there. There's no pearls in that section. 3 and 4. Carol, I'm ever so sorry. Your shell fell apart as I opened him. However, you are quadding. I did check. There's no more in that one there. You're hoping for lemon yellows or sky blues. Well, with your first oyster, you've got a pastel apple green, a icy blue, a TARDIS blue, and a watermelon. I love those colours together. So apple green, icy blue, TARDIS blue, and a watermelon there. Moving on to oyster number 2. There's one side and the other side. And in here we have a darker pearl. And there's no more in that one. And he is a dark chocolate pearl there. And then moving on to your last oyster. There's one side and the other side. Oh, and in here you are twinning, and you're twinning with lilac purples, Carol. So let me just dry these up for you and I'll pop them on the board so you can have a closer look. Okay, so here are your lilac purples. All together, you have got a apple green, icy blue, TARDIS blue and watermelon, a chocolate and twinning lilac purples. Carol, I hope you're happy with all of these. If I pop them on the board, your watermelon is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6. He's a 6.5. Your TARDIS blue is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, he's a 7. Icy blue is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, he's a 7. And your apple green's not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, he's a 7. Your chocolate is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, he's a 6.5. And then lilac twin number 1 is not a 5. Oh, sorry, he's a runaway. Not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, he's a 7.5. And his twin is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, he's a 7.5 as well. No, Carol, you're very, very welcome. I'm glad you're happy with them. If I bring you back up here, I'm just going to pop these in here for you. Thank you for the donations with your shells. And then let's do your trick or treats, my lovely. So, good luck. Just giving them a mix. Ooh. Just letting her finish. So, your trick or treat card, and you have a treat, my lovely. You've got a 10% off code, which means tomorrow you'll get an email from us with a 10% off code for the website. So if you would like to order again in the future, you'll have that code there to use and you can use it straight away, but also it doesn't have a expiry, so you can hold on to it if you wanted to. I did touch her hand, but that one didn't. Touching doesn't normally like set her off. I don't know. Right, let me just print these off and then we'll do the updated order list. I can't see comments for a moment. And you need the pyramid. Carol, I hope you're okay. Oh, or did the witch... I hope you're okay. Oh, no. When I come off the live, I'll be turning her off. I will not be waiting, because then I'll be on my own. I know, obviously, I'm on my own in this room at the moment, but I've got however many people watching. So if something happened, I would hope that some of you would react in a certain way. Whereas if you guys are not here, Aaron might not be fast enough. so yeah, she'll be going off. Oh, right. Okay. So updated order list. Up next is Jessica McEwen. And then we have Lindsay Kinlock, Aria Javi, and Sonia Tompkins. So again, I'm just going to update the order list that's on the page. There's going to be a space in between the last person, just so you can see, and I'll post it in the comments as well. So it was the witch. Oh, okay, Carol, sorry. Jessica M, Lindsay K, Aria D, and Sonia T. So Jessica M, are you here? So sorry, I just wanted to drink that before it went too cold. Jess, hello my lovely. You have a sparkle dip, so let's dive in and give these a mix around. So good luck. Oh. Okay, so you have this one here. Okay, so if I pop this one on the board and then we'll go down and have a look, Jessica. So if you're happy with this one, you can stick, or if you would prefer to twist and risk it, you can do so. So let's go down. You have the luminous green dragon egg.
Look at that. I love him. So he's luminous green dragon egg pendant. What do you think to, oh sorry, what do you think to this one? And like I say, if you're happy with this one, that's perfect. Or if you prefer to risk it, you can twist it. Twist with that one. Okay, that's not a problem. So this one will now stay out of the bag, and it will get added back in the bag again after we've done your twist. So if I give these a mix again for you, and then I'm going to dive in and grab a big pinch. Oh, good luck, Jess. I'm just waiting for something to drop. Is that one just folded up? Okay. Oh, I dropped it. We're gonna have to dive in again. I didn't see which one it was. Sugar drops. Okay. I still haven't added the egg back in, so I'm so sorry. Gonna get another big pinch. Oh, oh. Okay, so apparently there's one stuck in between my. Okay, so apparently we're gonna go for that one because that one was stuck in between my finger and thumb, and it wasn't going to come out. So you have this pendant here. So this is a type of heart crystal pendant. Now this heart hasn't been on the website before. Okay, so it's not our normal heart style. Let's go down. It is the longer, more pulled down heart, if you like, and it's that rainbow colour. So the rainbows, you can see pinks, purples, greens, yellows, oranges. Now this is the type of bail, let me move it down slightly, where the parts can move around, so you can see it's off centre. However, when you wear it as a pendant, it does then go central. So yes, the hearts can move side to side with the bail there. Like I say, as you wear it, it actually pulls it down and it does go central. So you can see all of those colours in there. Jess, you love it. Oh, perfect. I'm glad you're happy. So like I say, while it's on this card, it does look like he's wonky, but when you hold it and when you wear it, it will go central as it hangs down. The colours are stunning with that one, but I'm glad you're happy with him. Let me bring him back up. So I hope you'll be happy with that once it arrives as well, my lovely. Okay, that's safe on there, and then that's all up there for you. Perfect. Trick or treat card. Oh, bless you. Thank you, Vicky. Sorry, it's starting to hit me with the time. I don't even know why, because it's not late, but yeah, it's starting to hit me. So I do apologise. Jess, you do get a trick or treat. It's my fault on that one. Let's do your trick or treat, my lovely. So I'm just going to dive in, give them a little mix, and then let's pull one out. Not that I can see, even if I looked, I can't see in the dish because it's like a deep skull. So with your trick or treat card, you have a treat, my lovely. You've got 10% off the website code, so you'll get an email from me tomorrow with a 10% off code for the website. Now you can use that straight away if you'd like to, but again, you can hold on to it because it doesn't have an expiry date on there. Jess, I hope you're happy with everything, and that's safe up there for you. I think it's just because it's Friday, isn't it? By Friday we're all ready for our beds. It's one of those things. Okay, up next this evening is Lindsay Kinlock. Lindsay, are you here? Lindsay, hello. Lindsay, we'll start with your tantalizing treat if that's okay. Oh, let me top this up. So let's move you over to the pumpkin faces. So I'll need to know which pumpkin face you would like and which number you would like. So number 1 is the top row, number 2 is the middle row, and number 3 is the bottom row. So the faces you can pick from are Casper, Toothy, Dracula, Nasher and Evil Knievel. So I'll need to know which face you'd like and also what bag or row number you would like. What do you think? So would you like Casper to, Evil Knievel number 1. So let me bring you back again. So Evil Knievel is this one on the end here. So Evil Knievel number 1 is this one here. So let's get him open. So you have number 1, 2 and 3, and there's no more in that one. So Lindsay, would you like to keep or would you like to donate your shells? And are there certain colours that you're hoping for? So let's go down. Donate the shells, perfect, thank you. So, oyster number 1. Oh! There's one side. And the other side. Oh wow, in your first oyster you have a larger sized hot pink. And there's no more in that one. Sorry if anyone was dozing off then and she piped up to say hello. So here is your beautiful bright hot pink. Moving on to oyster number 2. There's one side and the other side. And in here you have a hot pink again. And there's no more in that one. It's possibly slightly larger than the first. Very, very similar on the tones and the shades of the colour though. And then moving on to your oyster number 3. Oh no, Vicky, she got you, sorry. But thank you very much for the donations of your shells there. There's one side and the other side. And in here, you have a darker silver. And there's no more in that one.
Okay, so let me hold up. Actually, he's like a... Okay, he's two-tone silver and chocolate. So you've got the silver, but as you go around the pearl, he's almost chocolate, but then you go back to the silver as well. So he's two-tonal silver and chocolate. Lindsay, I hope you're happy with these bright hot pink pearls and that dark silver. I'm actually going to pop them on the board just so then you can see them here. Look at those. So if I run them through the board for you, your silver and chocolate is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5, he's an 8. Pink number 1 is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5, not an 8. He's not an 8.5. You have a 9. You're in the 9 club with the pink number 1. Pink number 2 is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5, not an 8. He's an 8.5, which means you are in the 9 club with one of your pink pearls, Lindsay. Which means you're going to get the 9 club badge to go with your pearl there. I hope you're happy with that. So let me pop these in here for you. Whoop whoop. You also have an additional oyster opening as well. What type of oyster would you like with that one? And would you like to keep or would you like to donate those shells? Love that. You wanted one of those pinks. Your second favourite colour to yellow. Oh, I love that. Love, love, love that. And now one is a 9 club as well. I feel like she's giving me the eye. Can you have Halloween and donate? You can indeed. So your Halloween oyster. Oh, that's 2. There we go, that's 1. Let's get this one open. Is there a certain colour you're hoping for with this one? So let's go down. And your Halloween oyster. Quite a nice deep pop with that one. And in here, there is your mother of pearl. And I can see in this one, you are twinning. And you're twinning with apple green twins there. Oh, ran away backwards. There's no more in that one. So you are twinning with apple green twins. Now with these ones, if you're not happy with these colours, we can swap them for you. Now these ones are sorry, just moving the kitchen towel around. These are both two-tonal apple greens. So if I move them around, hopefully you can see the darker and lighter areas there with them. So if I pop them through the board as well, twin number 1 is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5, not an 8. He's an 8.5. Twin number 2 is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5. He's an 8. So they are measuring at slightly different sizes there, but beautiful two-tonal apple greens. Lindsay, are you happy with those?
No, the badges are not for sale, I'm afraid. You only get the badges if you get a 9 pearl from an oyster. There's only a few badges that have been given out. Lindsay, what do you think to those greens? You like the poison apple? I mean, that's a brilliant poison apple. Why didn't I think of that? Yes, poison apple greens. So I'm popping them in the bag, but can you just confirm for me that you are happy to keep them? I'm just going to pop them on here though for you, and we're going to do your trick or treat, my lovely. So if I dive in for your trick or treat, is that one? It is one. Okay, so your trick or treat card, and on the back of here you have a trick, my lovely. That does mean that there is nothing extra there, but I do hope you're happy with everything with your order. And you're definitely happy with those. Okay, perfect. Well, I do hope you'll be happy with everything once it arrives. And thank you for the donations with your shells. And that's safe up there for you. They still do Blue Peter badges though, Sophie. They still do that. I don't know how you get them now. But yeah, they're still going. Oh, bless you, Sophie. Well, thank you for all your help tonight. I hope you have a good weekend as well. Up next is Aria Dovey. Aria, are you here? Oh, really? Oh, I didn't realise that now. But yeah, back in the day, they were hard to get hold of. Oh, wow, Lindsay. Aria, hello, hello, hello. So, Aria, you have a tantalizing treat. So, if we go across to here, so what I'll need from you is to, sorry, let me start again. Which face would you like? So I'll need to know which pumpkin face you'd like, and also which number. So the number is, number 1 is the top row, number 2 is the middle row, and number 3 is the bottom row. And the faces that you can pick from are Casper, Toothy, Dracula, Gnasher, and Evil Knievel. Which face would you like? And which number row would you like? Oh, so let's bring you back here. So Casper, number 2, and donate your shells. Perfect, thank you. So Casper is this first row. So they do have, I have put the names up here. I even mirrored the names so they'd be right for you guys to read. Apparently I've just put them so they're too far away. But you can sort of see when I bring the bags forward that it's the correct bag, because obviously the face is on the bag. So Casper number 2, and you have 1, 2, 3 oysters in there. Donating your shells. Are there certain colours that you're hoping for? Number 1, number 2, and number 3. Okay, so let's go down. Oyster number 1, we have a softer pop there. Oh, and you've got a slight runaway there. So there is your mother of pearl. And you've got an icy blue runaway. Oh, I've just seen that you'd love an icy blue or a lilac. You have an icy blue. Let me dry him up for you. And I'll hold him up so you can have a closer look. There's your first pearl there. Moving on to oyster number 2. There's one side and the other side. And in here, you are twinning. And you're twinning with sea green pearls there. And there's no more in that one. Here are your sea green twins. Again, one does look visually slightly larger than the other, but we'll measure them at the end to have a closer look. And then moving on to your last oyster. There's one side and the other side. And in here you are twinning for a second time. And you're twinning with a pastel yellow. And there's no more in that one. So let me dry these up for you. I've got a wax melt on Laura. I mean, there is a smell. I wouldn't say it's a bad smell. But as soon as I obviously clean everything up, then no, it doesn't. So yeah, but I suppose there would be a smell compared to outside. So here are your pastel yellows on the sand, on the board. So all together, you've got that icy blue, twinning sea greens and twinning pastel yellows. Those yellows are going to look really bright in the sand, like I say, just because that's such a light colour. But here is the colour of them. If I pop them on the board, you can sort of see that beautiful colour tone there. So if I run them through the board for you, your icy blue is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, he's a 7. Your sea green number 1 is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, he's a 7. Sea green number 2 is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, he's a 7.5. So they are measuring at different sizes there. Your yellow number 1 is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5, not an 8, he's an 8.5. And yellow number 2 is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5, not an 8. He's an 8.5 as well. Oh, Aria, well, I'm glad you're happy with those, my lovely. They are lovely colours. Let me put them here. And the greens and the yellows, they do go beautifully together. I might have to do like some sort of jewellery with that colour tone, because I do like that. So no, but I'm glad you're happy with that. Let's do your trick or treat as well. And in here, your trick or treat, you have a treat. You have 20% off code for the website. So that means you'll get an email from me tomorrow to the email address that's on the order form with a 20% off code for the website. Now you'll be able to use that straight away, but also you don't have to, because it doesn't have an expiry date on it, so you can hold on to it if you wanted to. Aria, thank you very, very much for the donations with your shells, and I do hope you'll be happy with everything once it arrives. And that's safe up there for you. Okay, and up next is Sonia Tompkins. Sonia, are you here? Aria, you're very, very welcome. And Sonia, hello. Sonia, you have a sparkle dip with a oyster opening. So what we'll do is we'll give these a mix first, and then we'll pull one out, and then we will do your oyster opening. Oh, I'm ever so sorry. Yes, Aria, of course you can. Sonia, please bear with me a moment. I'm ever so sorry. So, icy blue on a hoop fitting, and yes, the hoop fitting does fit Pandora, so that's not a problem. The invoice will get sent through for you tomorrow, and it will go to the email address that's on the order form as well. Okay, so I hope you're happy with that. And Sonia, so what, like I said, what we're going to do is we're going to give these a mix first, and then we'll pull one out. So just giving them a mix, then I'm going to close my eyes and grab a good pinch size, and then let's get one. Oh, they're all caught in my finger and thumb again, so I've just brought them forward. I think I've still, nope, there we go, that's one. Okay, so you have this one here. So you have a crystal heart pendant, and it has a heart bail on it as well. So let's go down so you can have a closer look. Now this is a green Swarovski crystal heart pendant, and like I said, it's got that heart bail on the top there as well. Now if you're happy with this one, you can stick. I'm just moving it around so you can see all the different angles. If you're not happy, you can risk it and twist it and go for a different pendant. What do you think, Sonia? If you're happy, you can stick, or if you're not, we can risk it and twist it. No, Aria, don't be silly. It's absolutely fine. Not a problem at all. Oh, we're fine, thank you, Cassie. I hope you and yours are well as well. You're going to twist, Sonia. Okay, so this one will stay out of the bag until after we've pulled your twist out, okay? So if I bring you back up again, so we're going to go through and mix them again for you, and then we're going to pull one out. So I hope your twist, I hope you're happy with the next pendant out there. So I'm just opening up the bag wider so I can get a good, okay, I'm going to just mix them again because they're all on the side. There we go. So yeah, I can get a good pinch now. Can you see? I don't know if you can see that. I've got a huge pinch there. So I'm just going to shake them. Oh. 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 Okay, so I think that is one. Okay, so you do have another crystal heart pendant here. However, it's got a different bail on it, and of course it's a different colour. Now this is why the bails just give the pendants a completely different look. So this has got the warrior heart bail on it. So this is actually the same size and style heart as the green one we've just seen, but it has this warrior heart bail. Now it's a warrior heart because it's almost like it's armour. I love this bail, and this is a clear crystal heart, which means it's going to go with any colour and any colour pearl as well, because you do have that oyster opening there. Sonia, I do hope you're happy with this one. Now, because you do have your oyster opening, if you would like your pearl on the jewellery, it does sit at the top here and it can move around at the top. Of course, with your oyster opening though, you don't need to have the pearl on the jewellery if you don't want to, so that's going to be completely up to you. So I hope you're happy with that one. You love it, perfect. So you have one opening altogether. What type of oyster would you like? And would you like to keep, or would you like to donate your shells? So sorry. So sorry, that just snuck up on me there. Ever so sorry. Oh, Aria, you're very, very welcome, and thank you for the stars. Sonia, mystery and donate. Perfect. Now, is there a certain colour that you're hoping for here? And are you thinking pearl? And are you thinking pearl on or pearl off of the jewellery? Let's go down. So your mystery oyster, we have a darn witchy. So let's get this open. So did we say donate? Yes, we did. Okay. So in here, ooh, there's your mother of pearl. Now I can see straight away towards this side, you've got a beautiful, I'm going to say, it's purple, but it's got a slight sort of pink hint to him. And there's no more in that one. So definitely purple. It's like a rich purple because he's got that slight pinky tone almost. Let me hold him up so you can have a closer look. If I pop him on the board so you can see his colouring there. Pearl off. Okay. Now, if you're happy with this colour, that's perfect. However, you do have the option to swap the colour on this one, Sonia. So if you would prefer to swap, do let me know. He's not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5. He is a 7. What do you think to this one? Would you like to keep this one? Or like I say, if you're not happy, we can swap him. And pearl off the jewellery, so I'm just going to wrap your pendant back up. Oh, I'm sorry, Alison. I'm sorry if it made anybody jump. Just going to bring you back up here for a moment. And I'm just going to write pearl off, so no pearl on there. Perfect. But what do we think to the colour? Very happy with him. Perfect. Let me pop him in there. And I've just got down there that you'd like no pearl on the jewellery. Thank you very much for the donations with your shells. And let's do your trick or treat card. Oh, I dropped one. Okay, I think that's one there. So your trick or treat card. And you have a trick, my lovely, which does mean that there's nothing on the back of that one. But I do hope you're happy with everything once it arrives. Thank you very, very much for the donations with your shells. And that's safe up there for you. And that has brought us to the end of our order list. I've just had a quick look at the website, and that has brought us to the end of our order list for tonight. Sonia, you're very, very welcome. We're live again tomorrow. It's afternoon, so daytime live tomorrow, 1 p.m. BST, so British summertime. And that's for the charm dip with the new crystal, Swarovski crystal charms in the charm dip as well. So hopefully I'll see some of you tomorrow afternoon. If not, I hope you all have a brilliant weekend, and our normal live will be on Sunday. So we're live Friday, Saturday and Sunday this week, and that's Sunday at 7:30 BST for our normal live. So if you'd like to order a normal order, that will be on Sundays. It's only the charm dips tomorrow. Thank you all for watching and thank you all for joining in, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye.